You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television.
Hello and welcome back to WPTV Presents, the show that features Communication Department Club activities, leaders, and members. I'm your co-host, Aria Capria.
And I'm Brooke Holzhauer. Here with us today is WPTV, William Paterson's TV club here on campus. And we'll be hearing from the club's president, Chris Cugliari, and vice president, Gonzalez, on all that the club has accomplished and has to offer. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
It's great to have you on set.
It's great to be here. They finally let me out of the control room. It's really nice.
So if you guys could, can you sum up what TV Club is about in a few sentences for us?
TV Club, it's this. It's cameras, lights, a monitor that's still. It's everything that we do here, and it's a full team sport. You need 11 people at least to run it, and it's a lot of fun. You got directors, technical directors, all the people that are in the control room, all the people that are out here helping us put on one specific show.
Yeah, it's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that goes into it that not a lot of people know about and get to see. So it's great.
Yeah.
Alex, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, it's like a community here, like TV Club. Like besides, like we're all here to learn. It's like we're all here together. We're all learning because we're all passionate about this stuff, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Chris, you're our president. Alex, you're our vice president. Could you take us through a little bit what each of your roles entails for the club?
President, I run meetings. I get up in front of everyone, talk for 15 minutes because I know everyone loves to hear me talk. And then after that, we come into the studio and we come make TV. And President also is in charge of planning some events. Like we have an event coming up December 6th where we will be going into the Martini Room, having a full holiday event, and at the end playing Family Feud with all of the club advisors against all the club presidents.
Yeah.
Nice.
And for me, for like vice president, I'm kind of like Chris's, like that's not assistant, but like there to help him out if he needs.
He's
anything.
my right-hand man.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, basically here, if Chris needs something, like if he's not able to make a meeting, like I'll just like step up, take charge of the meeting, or if any like he just has like some things that he wants me to do for the club. Basically, just here, like he said, I'm his right-hand man. If he needs anything, I'm here to help him.
Awesome. So aside from the e-board roles, obviously you guys are on e-board, and I am myself as well, but what are the other roles that students can have here as being part of the club, like incoming students or even just other students in general? What do they do here?
I mean, there's kind of like a set path, I want to say, that we start off all new students with. Every freshman that comes in here gets trained on camera and floor manager because those are always the roles that we need the most of. And then that's your kind of like freshman year, you're going through all that. But if you want to learn more roles, say in the control room or anything like that, all you got to do is ask. Any one of us here that know the job and know the position will be more than happy to come help anyone that comes in and wants to learn a new role, like directing, technical directing, graphics, audio, all of that stuff.
Awesome. I think we have a clip that we are going to show. So we have a clip of some club members doing their thing in the control room and such. Alex, if you want to talk a little bit more about what we're about to see, some club members doing their thing for a production.
Yeah, so usually like the basic, when we have a production to do, the first things we do is like, we assign everyone a crew position, like everyone's doing something. There's audio, which, they deal with the audio of every show. There's teleprompter, they deal with the script, because, live television, you don't remember everything you're gonna say, so you need a script to help you out. There's technical director, which is basically they take that's kind of like the most significant part because they take like cameras, graphics, full screens. Basically, they're like working with the director. And speaking of director, Chris, if you would like to explain director.
Director is kind of the quarterback, so to say. He's the person that tells everyone else what to do, or maybe not even quarterback, I would say coach. He's the one that has the game plan ahead of time and ends up telling the 10, 11 people that he's talking to, hey, you should do this, take camera one, track the audio, do stuff like that. And as you can see, me up directing, standing, because for some reason I have to stand while directing, because I can't see any of the monitors. But yeah, it's the person that's in charge of everything and the person that tries to get to everyone in their position and help them understand where they're trying to go with what they're doing.
Awesome. That's great.
And there's like graphics, which they deal with the graphics of the show, and we also have the camera operators and floor manager and the talent themselves.
Yeah.
Of course.
We've got a lot going on always.
Yeah,
There's so many
yeah.
opportunities. And what would you say kind of makes WPTV different from other programs, whether that's just clubs here at William Paterson, but schools in general? What kind of sets us apart?
I'd say we're more hands-on than any other school. I mean, you come in here on the first day, you're doing camera, you're doing floor manager, and then by your second year, for my sophomore year, by the end of it, I was directing shows, which I wouldn't have been able to touch equipment if I was at like a school like Montclair. And I think that's what makes us different. And what makes us different about clubs here, you want to take that?
Yeah, like clubs here, like we're more interactive. Like I feel like with some other clubs, like you get to do, it's kind of like all the clubs here, it's like if you want to learn something, it's always open and you can do it right away. Like there's like nothing stopping you. And for TV club, it's kind of like the same thing. Like you can come in here and learn something. Like it's gonna take time. Like you can't learn something like learn it in one day. But like okay, I want to do it next day. You just have to like Chris said, take the path. It's like kind of like a path that you usually take. Like camera first, then you go on. As you go on, you take the steps up like that.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So, I mean, this is kind of piggybacking off of what you guys already said, but why do you think that WPTV is so dedicated to providing this hands-on experience? Like, I know you said, we're different from other schools, and I believe that as well. But why exactly? Why are we so dedicated? Why do we have such a strong core, foundation here?
I think it starts with the staff. I mean, Clarke, our studio manager, he's my go-to person for everything that I do here. Love him to death. And he just helps every single student that comes in here with any questions, anything like that. And it starts with the staff. If the staff isn't willing to give the help and to help the students, then that's just how it's going to turn out. It's not going to turn out as well as the dedication that we have here.
Right, definitely.
Yeah, and like we have Al, like he's a great resource. He's always there to help us out. And like I just like to say Chris too, like he's been taking a step up. He's learned a lot out of it. I feel like anyone besides Al, second person you go to like learn anything, like Chris knows everything. Like he knows, like he learned a lot.
Yeah.
On some days when I'm actually awake in the control room, which is rare.
I know. We have a lot of fun. It's like a family, honestly.
It is.
It
It's
really,
like a
really
really
is.
big
We have
family.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We'll be popping over for a quick break, but stay tuned in to this WPTV edition of WPTV Presents.
Here at WPTV, we have a variety of shows for you to watch. From our very own sports show where it's all sports and laughs,
I'll sign for free. I got my jersey right here. Give me that one. Give me that roster spot. I'll sign for
to our own sketch comedy and news show where everything is definitely 100% real.
No one will be able to forecast the weather. Only I can show the weather on my...
And we even have our own late night show with special guests and artists every episode.
Woo, man, it is electric in here tonight.
All that and more here on WPTV.
Welcome back to the WPTV edition of WPTV Presents.
Here with us is Chris Cugliari, the club's president, and the vice president, Alex Gonzalez. Welcome back, you guys.
Thank you. It's
Haven't
nice to be
seen
here.
you in forever.
I know, it's been so long.
So we want to go through all the different shows that we have here at WPTV. So we're going to take a quick look. We got a little highlight reel of all that we got going on here. So just take us through that.
So we have 4 different shows here. Sports Desk, Caleb Washington's Sports Desk is our sports talk show. We talk sports. We got 5 suits up on the desk explaining why the Yankees lost the World Series or explaining why WP Volleyball is just going on a tear. And then we have the Caleb Washington show, which is just our late night show where Caleb gets up on set, tells a few jokes, does a monologue, has a musical guest, does an interview, and then signs us off. And then we have another 2 shows.
Yeah, it's called FNN. It's our sketch comedy and news show. Basically, they do improv games, live segments outside. It's a bunch of like comedy acting. So if you want to watch something for a laugh, definitely the show to watch. Then we also have this show. WPTV Presents, which is our interview show, which we basically just interview all the communication departments, getting to know what they are and what they do. And as we go on, we hope to interview more shows or more clubs on campus. So yeah.
Awesome, that sounds great, guys. So aside from that, we have an old show coming back. It's a reboot. Do you want to tell us about that show?
So that show is going to be called Press Start, and I'm especially excited for that one because I'm a bit of a nerd myself, and I do enjoy video games and all the stuff that would be talked about on Press Start. And Press Start is a gaming show. It's a geek culture show. It's where nerds like myself would have a home to talk about anything that they want to talk about. If they're not into sports, if they're not into late night, if they're not into comedy, then they have another outlet to go there. And they're chugging along. They're getting all of their mock-up scripts written and all that stuff, and they're gonna be starting hopefully sometime at the end of this semester or next semester.
Hopefully. I'm excited for that show.
That's very exciting.
Yes.
I know, I love it. WPTV. We got great stuff going on.
Always.
What's been, as club members ourselves, we have so many great memories here, but personally for you two, what's been either one of your favorite moments or a production that you've done that just stands out among all the rest?
I'll let you take this one first.
For me personally, I would say it was my first ever Brave-a-thon. When I was a freshman, I didn't know what it was. I was like, oh, it's a live concert, or for I don't know how long it was, 10 hours, 11 hours or something like that. So I just remember that day. It was a nice moment. I was still new, so I didn't really know everyone in the club, but that was a whole bonding experience. I feel like Brave-a-thon. Everyone's here for long hours, no matter how long you're here for, 1 hour, 2 hours, the whole entire hours, you're just here. It's a good time. I remember it kind of moments of it, we were just all laughing. We were all just there doing crew stuff for the whole event. And it's just I don't know why that's just the first memory for me that pops up for me.
My favorite memory, I loved Brave-a-thon, but the setup for Brave-a-thon was just out of the world. It was so much fun to actually come in here and set up everything. My favorite memory was I was with my two friends, Jess and Scotty, as we were all setting up in here. And we had about 20 microphones to mic up the bands that we have for Brave-a-thon. And instead of doing mic checks on a drum set by actually playing the drums, what we ended up doing was we were just telling jokes. So we all took turns just going up to the microphones, telling jokes, and Al was in the control room on the audio board and just laughing away, and it was the best time that I've had ever setting up for something.
That's awesome. So with all of these shows and all these memories that we have and we create, how does WPTV pave the way for students? How does WPTV pave the way for especially incoming students who want to get these roles and want to be part of these shows and get that hands-on experience?
I'll let you take this one.
Okay. So I feel like this is TV. So if you're a media production major or the new thing, they changed it. So if they're into that major or whatever, if you just have some interest in TV at all, this is the place to be at, because you get experience, like you said, hands-on before even taking all the classes. But if you're a freshman and you haven't taken the classes, you're one step ahead of everyone when you're here doing this your freshman year before you even take any of these classes. So I feel like that's paving the way, because okay, now I know how to do this when you go into the club or into the class, So it's okay, I already know what to do.
Absolutely.
And that's really helpful.
You're just ahead of the game the entire time. Any class that I go into now that has television in it, I guarantee you I will know how to do every single aspect of it. The club has taught me so much that I can now, one, give back to everyone that's under me, like freshmen and sophomores, and that don't know as much as me. And then also I can just speed through any class that I would ever need to if I ever need to take a TV class, and end up helping those that need help.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we ask this with every club, and we've touched on it a lot. We've gone through all of our great moments, what we have to offer, but why WPTV? If you were talking to an incoming freshman and they asked you, well, why should I join? What does that have to do with me?
I would say, at the bare minimum, if you are now a radio, TV, and film person with your major, I would say the bare minimum is take the club, come and join us. You'll learn everything that you need to learn for one of your classes, and that class will be so much easier for you. That's the bare minimum. If you like us and you like what we do, then stay. But if you don't, that's fine. It's why WPTV? Because we have a lot of fun here.
And you make great connections. Besides TV, like you said, we're all like a family here. So it's like, oh, like we're all friends, you know. Like I come in here, I'm like, hi everyone. Like I don't like, we don't like if you don't even know people. Like when you're a freshman, you don't know anyone. When you're first here. But I feel like TV club's like one of the clubs here that you can obviously be part of, and then you just start making friends like left and right. It's like we're all here.
It's just always such a good time to be with everyone here. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be having as much fun if it was a whole new set of people that I didn't know. I mean, Aria, when we're directing sports desks together and Aria's yelling at me, I would have no other way than Aria yelling at me.
We have a great time, Chris.
We have a great
really
time.
do.
Well, that's great, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for dragging me out of the control room. It's really nice.
Of course.
Anytime.
So that is all we have for today's episode of WPTV Presents. Thank you to Chris and Alex for giving us the inside scoop on WPTV.
And as always, a special thanks to Clarke and our whole WPTV crew in Hamilton Hall. Be sure to follow us on our socials at WPTV and subscribe to the WPTV Presents YouTube channel. I'm Aria Capria.
And I'm Brooke Holzhauer, and we'll see you next time.